Good to be with you today. Thanks for watching. Just a couple announcements for you before we begin. Tonight, of course, is a community meal and our youth groups, and you're invited to participate in our meal, volunteer. Thursday, 4 to 7 will be a visitation here in the church for Marilyn Howard, and then her funeral will be here in the sanctuary at 1:30 on Friday. And then Sounds Like Harmony is coming up on Monday. Just a little busy stretch for the workings of the church, as it should be. Right? And so we continue in Luke, and in fact we continue with another parable about prayer. Last week we had a parable about prayer. This week is another one. In this parable that Jesus says, it's about a Pharisee and a tax collector. Both go into the temple to pray. The Pharisee pretty much says, "Look how good I am, and I'm so glad I'm not like that tax collector." The tax collector in his prayer says, "Just help me." Right? And then Jesus says, the tax collector goes home justified. This is one of the parables we have to be careful with. It seems as though Jesus says one is better than the other. Right? Which one would you like to be? Right? The tax collector or the Pharisee? And we have to be careful here, because once you identify with the tax collector, it makes you a Pharisee. The moment that you identify with the Pharisee, it makes you a tax collector. Right? So it's not really an either-or position here. But what I think Jesus is trying to tell us in this parable is to be who we are. The Pharisee was being who the Pharisee is, right? Following all the rules, following the covenant, doing the things that God was asking of him. Right? The tax collector was also honest, right? Living up to a life of knowing he wasn't all that he could be. I think what Jesus is trying to tell us is when you go before God, just go as you are. Right? God looks beyond the masks that we put on in front of other people. So be honest. Even with the dark self or the shadow side of yourself, be honest, be open. Because we also know this about prayer. You can't be filled if you don't come hungry. Right? You can't be filled if you don't empty yourself. So come empty before God, and God will fill you. We'll see you soon.